Hello, young scholars. Um, all right, I'm going to try to keep it simple today because everything else has been a pain in the butticus. Anyway, I would like for you to read to page 66. You can do it during this time. You can skip page 57 and 58. That is the depressing argument the mother makes that I said we might skip. You probably don't remember me saying that, but pick up on 59 and read to 56. I said do the study guide. I wanted to show you what is different about this particular study guide. Right, so here is the assignment. This is true for both 7 and 8. What I would like you to do, okay, that's going to, of course, be a problem. So I'm just going to use the actual document. All right, so one of the things I want to start to focus on is ethics and morality. The book is, like I said, an allegory. That's a symbolic story where characters represent different concepts of parental love, let's say. The relationship between father and son is at the center here. And the things that are happening are sort of more generalized things that parents go through and about the relationship of kids to adults. And one of those things is that the father is trying to instill or has instilled in the boy a set of morals. Morals are things you do. One definition is ethics are the way that you think things should be. Like I should never lie. Lying is bad. Morality sometimes is defined as what you actually do. So maybe you say you ethically think it's wrong to lie, but morally, you find yourself telling white lies because you don't want to really tell your mom how her new haircut looks because it would hurt her feelings. All right. Within that are, and we'll use these a little bit loosely, but within morality and ethics, there are two stances as well. And again, I'm simplifying, but there's a absolute morality, which is something is wrong, it's always wrong no matter the circumstance. So to steal is always wrong. Um, rel- uh, Moral relativism, or moral relativism, is saying that right and wrong are dependent on the situation. So you might be it might be wrong to steal a loaf of bread, but when your child is starving, if you steal a loaf of bread to feed him, it's okay. Down the line, I'm going to ask you which character kind of adheres to which approach, absolutism or relativism. But for now, I just want you to start thinking about some of the choices they're making in the book. So part one is I give you three questions. Decide whether you agree with the boy, the man, or any of the characters mentioned in each of these scenarios. So on page 49 is a scenario where they don't help a man who's been struck by lightning. They have a conversation about that choice. Um, Cannibalism is mentioned around page 60. Obviously, you're not going to be, well, who knows? This pandemic could go in strange directions, but most likely you'll never have to choose whether or not to eat another human. But it's happened in the past, and the question here is it okay to do anything if your own survival depends on it? What you're going to do is decide. So in the book, there would be characters that are cannibals. The man and the boy are not. Explain why. Include discussion of both sides of the situation, idea or opinion. Consider the circumstances and what the priorities are. So in other words, some people would actually just rather starve than murder and eat another human. Um, this is something that becomes more clear around page 68. It's mentioned on page 69, and that is that the man would shoot his son. That's when he's asking that question, can I do it? He would shoot him if they were being captured because he wouldn't want his son to suffer what they would do to him. The man and the wife kind of talk about this. It'd be worse than just being shot in the head. But is it ethical or right to do anything to protect a loved one from suffering? Or maybe is the man going beyond what his responsibilities are? Right? Would it still be murder if he killed his son to save him from some horrifying death worse than that? All right, then I want you to deal with some of the weirder statements. Scrolls, things like this are interesting but confusing. I would want you to look closely at it rather than just kind of skipping over it. Some words like home brewed are, well, that's a word. Woad, you might have to look up. All right, beggared, you might have to look up. But I want you to try to decipher and translate two of the sentences. All right, I give you the sentences here. You definitely have to look up in sepulchred, crozzled. All right, so choose two of these and do your best to translate them. All right, you don't have to be perfect. I just want you to give it a shot. All right. Other than that, I'm going to give you this time to read the section, and you can ask me any questions in the chat. All right. Thank you, young scholars. As far as submitting this, hold on to it. We'll try to discuss this tomorrow before you have to turn it in, but it'll be due tomorrow after our class.